Why should a man not be in a strong position? Significance, envy, and Cerberuses. In this video, I'll talk about why an obvious and prolonged imbalance in a relationship is not the model you should strive for. We'll discuss a situation where the man is clearly in a strong position and the girlfriend is clearly in a weak one. It's exactly this model that, according to most male coaches, is where a man feels most comfortable. A weak position is always humiliating. Some people love being in the minus for the intense feelings they can experience in toxic relationships. But all those feelings are mixed with humiliation. Anyone in a weak position lives with the dream of the day when everything will change. The day when he can stop and feel happiness himself. The person and his Cerberus. Even the kindest and most open person has his own Cerberus with several heads, each of which wants to eat. The primary desire of every person is to feel their significance. This desire stays with us for life, and everything we do in order to ultimately understand that we were valuable to someone or something. If a person isn't valued at work, he vents his anger on his loved ones, an all-known fact. But what stands inside this process? That Cerberus sitting inside is the embodiment of all the negativity in a person. He gets fed and, most of the time, just sleeps. He feeds on thoughts of one's own significance. When a person is valued, he feels good. The animal sleeps. When a person isn't valued, the inner Cerberus paces restlessly and snaps. If a person doesn't feed the Cerberus eats the person. Therefore, a person is forced to lash out, to feel his power somewhere, and to feed not the best part of himself. It's hopelessness and necessity, a good girlfriend and the strong position. There are now many men who listen to the men's movement that says a man must always be in a strong position. And men, after hearing this, become fired up by the idea of a prehistoric society where a man can treat a woman as nothing. What happens to the girlfriend? Yes, of course, she's in a dependent position. Yes, of course, if the man decides to end the relationship, she will suffer. That's all true. But if the man hits a crisis where his external supports disappear, there's always one left, and that is the girlfriend, onto whom the man shifts all the weight. Does the girlfriend feel her significance at that moment? Of course she does. And what happens to her Cerberus? She is so exhausted after all the time she spent being humiliated. The man humiliated her. Her inner beast fed on her, and she simply lets it off the leash. Can she be blamed for the fact that she did everything for 5 years to make the man happy, and as soon as he needed help, she walked away with a sneer? Sometimes situations are exactly like that. The man completely ignored any desires of the girlfriend, believing she was born to serve him and his whims. And in the crisis moment, she suddenly gets everything she lacked. Is she happy? Yes, she is. The difference between balance and imbalance. With balance, neither person considers themselves humiliated. The man has no absolute power over the woman. Naturally, the man has authority because, in balance, the woman listens to the man, but the man also listens to the woman. Neediness is good only during infatuation and during relationship restoration, as it gives certain extras. A person doesn't look for a chance to get even at the first opportunity, because his inner beast is well fed and sleeps peacefully in the corner. There is no envy of the other's position, no desire for revenge. If you want a woman's subordination, you should still understand that any subordination is illusory, and a person's significance is active only at this very moment. Tomorrow, everything can change, and that hungry beast whose existence you didn't even suspect will start its meal.